Have you ever wanted your Notion pages to look like this or like this? Probably, because they look absolutely amazing. And if you don't know how to do that, this video is going to change it. I'm going to show you all of the tips and tricks with the different Notion blocks that you can use to create those pages yourself. Let's go. Alright, let's start with my favorite feature, which are databases in callouts. Take a look at this. We have a page called table database right here, and we want to make a linked view of it right here. And we're quickly gonna search for it right here. And it looks okay, but we can make it much better. So if you type in callout and you type in table database here, you can put this inside this callout, and as you can see, it looks much better. You can also hide this title, and that's how I do all of my databases, or rather database views, on my dashboards, and it looks absolutely amazing. Another tip, if you want to make your pages wider, just click the three dots here and select the full width. And if you duplicate this, you can actually make some nice patterns with it, like this sort of grid style. Another way to use callouts is to make these sort of quick links. So if you type in callouts and select quick links, you can also select Command B to make it bold and select your color, the same as your icon, and you see it looks really good. You can also type in a lightning, so it's like quick link, and you can put your databases right here, and you can put it at the side and make it smaller, and you can have access to all of those links at all times. So that's my essential features for dashboards. So now let's talk about how to make your notes better. The first thing that I love is table of contents. So if we make a heading right here and we call it dashboard essentials, for example, and then we get another heading right here called notes essentials, you can make a nice table of contents right here at the top, and you can reach whatever heading that there is quickly without needing to scroll all the way down. And also, if you make a smaller heading under it, so let's start with quote blocks. You see, it appears right here. So how do you use quote blocks? Well, you know that there are these dividers. If you press -3 times, it creates this thin horizontal line. But what if you wanted a vertical divider? Well, that's how you can use quote blocks actually. If you press quote and you press Shift plus Enter, you see it's a vertical divider, and you can even change the color of it. If you type in purple at the end with a slash, boom, you've got yourself a purple vertical divider. Now, more about callouts because they are absolutely amazing. So take a look at this. You can actually change the color of them the same way that you change the color of your vertical divider. So if you type in green, for example, and select green background, you've got yourself a green divider. And you can also select a green color right here for the icon, whatever, a leaf, and call it green callout. And you can create some really amazing styles with it. Another cool way to spice up your notes is to use emojis. And you can do that by pressing the colon and typing what the emoji should be. So if you select, for example, call, you can select the phone and it will look cool. If you put them everywhere, like here, select a notebook, for example, you see, and they also appear right here in the top of the table of contents, and it looks more aesthetically pleasing. If I've got a long text, for example, I also like to select the most important part and select this mark as code. And as you can see, it highlights it in a very special way. And you can play with it and change the colors from red to green, for example. And you can really make some nice designs with it. Let's say that you've got two of those long paragraphs. So if you want to make them more readable, you can actually drag and drop them to columns. And you can also add some small headings at the top. On both of them, click duplicate. And you can make your notes much better this way. You can also play with the color, so you can make this green and this red, for example, as if you've got the good and bad on the left and on the right. And here you can also change the color to red, and this might help you to study better and remember things. And you can also add some emojis, for example this, and for bad we can add a cross, for example. Yeah, it looks quite good to me. If you're a programmer, you also need the code block. If you press the slash and type code, you can literally write your code right here. So whatever it is, you can just, for example, write your code and it will be automatically highlighted in the correct language. If you're making some kind of a revision, you can also use the Notion blocks that are for managing tasks. And a cool shortcut to do that is to press the parentheses and then press enter, the square ones, and you can quickly add some to-dos, for example, review this paragraph. And you can have some small to-do list right here. Another cool thing are buttons. So if you press slash and button, you've got this kind of a menu, and you can configure it to do some cool things like generate blocks that could act out as a template for writing emails, for example, so that you can practice, I don't know, whatever you want to use it for. But it's cool, so I'm going to show you. So maybe email template, we'll name the button, and we are going to give it an icon. And now we're going to click insert blocks below button. And you can do something like greeting, then maybe some calls of writing, then maybe some arguments for your case, and at the end you could write an ending and greetings again. This is just an example, so don't follow this. And see, the blocks are generated and you can write right here. If you're willing to learn something new, then another cool thing that you could be using are diagrams. So if you press the slash and type in diagram, you are getting this code block with the mermaid language. And I don't know how to use that really. I just made one diagram for myself, which looked like this. And then if you select preview, it's smaller. I only made it to be more motivated to code. And yeah, I don't really know how to use that, but if you learn this language, you can make some cool stuff that might help you visualize what you're learning. Also, there's stuff that can be used for collaboration. So if you press add, you can mention someone or a date, for example, and this will fire a notification so that you may be reminded to do, for example, a task that we wrote right here at the top, and it might help you to be more organized. I also like to embed some pages. So make pages within pages, and if there's a lot of stuff on the notes, you can, like, instead of structuring into those headings and it getting very, very long, you could like make some pages about the topics, and then you can put them at the top, for example, for quick access, so that you've got the most essential things always at hand. So these are my favorite Notion techniques that I use to make my templates, my pages, my notes, literally anything inside Notion. And I just wanted to make this quick video to share all the stuff with you. So if you want, you can use it, and I will leave a link to this page in the description so that you can easily get an inspiration and just copy and paste all those elements and play with them by yourself. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.